how would you define, or how is today's AI reshaping the definition of creativity?
Okay, so as creatives, whenever we start, so the cameras, for example, we have people that we look up to who film in certain styles, in certain ways, that at some point, whether it was at the beginning of our career or we saw a trend on Instagram that everyone's doing, like right now, the take off the foo-foo, and everyone's doing the generative fill Photoshop thing, the flickering of the images, right?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between someone seeing something they're inspired by 5 years ago and trying to recreate it and get something that they made that looks exactly like that, and then eventually put their own spin on it and remix it and make it completely theirs? What's the difference between that and now being able to do it with AI and prompting? But the only difference is you can do it at scale and faster and output more in like a crazier time period than you ever could before. There's no difference between those two things. It's just we're getting more efficient at that process.
Efficiency wins. I'm with you on that. And as someone who has many hats and is doing a lot of things at once, I need efficiency in my life. I need efficiency hacks.
We all do. I still do.
I mean, you'll never have enough, right? You can never get like zero. Like I'm good. There's always something to iterate, change, adapt, like on to get that efficiency back. And a lot of times I think it's for us, it's like for time. But because let's do that. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves. But let's start with some numbers. Like how many videos do you make a week? How long does it take you to make your average video? What's the growth looking like? Numbers.
From the time I started the AI videos, which was I started posting, I said, okay, I'm going to make one of these things every day and post every day. And we could just say that started on May 1st.
2023.
Yeah, it was right around there.
Okay.
I posted, I know for a fact before I took any breaks, because I started getting projects and there was stuff that just pulled my focus, I posted somewhere in the realm of 34 or 35 AI videos straight with no breaks in those days. And every single one of those, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, were collaborations. But every day, no break. And one of these AI videos, contrary to most people thinking that it's just button pressing, one of these videos will take anywhere for a 45 to 60 second video, will take anywhere from 4 to 5 hours before I can say like, okay, I'm happy with this style. But even if I found the style that I like 30 or 45 minutes into that process, it's still going to take me the rest of the 4 to 5 hours to tweak numbers and tweak just like the settings are crazy. And it's basically coding. And I don't have a development background. I don't have a coding background.
You've kind of fumbled into this. Like, wait, I'm coding now?
It is some weird form of it, because almost everybody else that I am now really good friends with, that I hang out with on a daily basis in a little private Discord server, that are really talented AI artists, a lot of times I feel self-conscious hanging around and interacting with everyone, even though they never make me feel that way, but because I'm one of the only ones in the group that does not have a development or programming background. But I am one of the only ones in the group with a filmmaking background and with the years of creativity and the street dance and all that stuff. So what they can help contribute to me as far as the technical side of things, I can return the value with my eye.
It sounds like the perfect match. Like the team aspect of what you just described is like, oh, that's someone who doesn't have something we all have, but has something that none of us have. Kind of aspect. Maybe that's just my own thinking about your Discord group. But there's so many things I want to ask you. Like, what else besides those numbers that you just shared?
Oh, wait, I got ahead of myself there.
Okay.
The actual numbers is about 4 to 5 hours to style and get the consistency of the video right. Consistency meaning there's not too many double heads. There's not a third arm every 5 frames. The background isn't going like too crazy. So getting a stable output takes about 4 to 5 hours, and then actually letting that video run to completion for a 45 to 60-second video will take somewhere between 10 to 12 hours.
Of your powerful ass computer going to work.
Of my current 3090 with 24 gigabytes of VRAM, just going to town on it overnight.
So you got to work like a Porsche. And that's still taking 12 to what, 15 hours? You said?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say that you can let that run in the background and you can be active doing other things. Full time, you're still doing something. So what else are you doing for each video?
So for each one of these AI videos, before it even gets to the AI part, there is a process, because the part that a lot of people have still been fumbling on in the community that I see is underestimating how important just like the initial video quality is to getting the stable image. You can sit there and you can tweak your prompt and you can move the sliders and you can do all the math you want. But if the initial video was shot on a cell phone and the person is not taking up the majority of the frame and there's motion blur and you're overexposed, or the yellow wall is too yellow and you didn't pull the saturation down on it with the color picker, you're going to have a bad time. And it's just, you're just giving yourself more of a headache. So before any video goes into the actual AI process, I take it into Premiere. I color grade it. I make sure everything's balanced. From there, I run it through a program called Topaz Video AI.
Yeah.
If a video is 1080, I will upscale it to 2K. I will de-motion blur it in Topaz, as well as use the enhancement function.
Is that the same as sharpening then?
No, because there's an enhancement thing that sharpens it, and then there's a separate de-motion blur thing in the program. And Topaz is AI based too, so it's doing its own magic back there, but it works. I take that 2K video, and then that 10 to 15 hour time frame is with me rendering the video through the AI. It's not a program; it's a notebook. It's a coding notebook that is hosted on Google Colab. So it's not even a piece of software. This is all being run through.
Yeah.
That renders out at 720 in 15 hours, not even at 1080, but I'm upscaling it from 1080 from the initial video to 2K because those extra pixels I'm feeding it make a difference. I get the output at 720. After that's done, I upscale it back to 1080, throw it into Premiere, do the whole color grading and make sure everything is pretty, and then it's off.
So if I counted correctly, that's 4 different apps.
Oh, and in the post-process, I also use the full version of DaVinci strictly for their deflicker function.
5, maybe. So probably, and you know what? Not even including the apps that you use to source from. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's YouTube Shorts. Like we're not even talking about those things yet. We're talking about what you see. And as someone who is a young gun too, but more impressive is, you said March is when
May. I've only really been doing this for.
This dude is like 2-3 months old, right? At least with that handle that we're talking about right now.
Sorry,
creatives. Or
May, June, July. Maybe I started just a couple weeks before May started, but I've only been really doing this for like 4 months. But it's been 4 months of every waking moment that I was not doing something else to make money during the day or sleeping was this. And when I say sleeping, that part got minimized because I've been up till 3 a.m. every night during this phase, wrapping my head around this stuff, because the nighttime is when I'm able to learn stuff.
What's going on in the day? Money-making activities?
In the day, I was editing videos for other small local social media businesses. I was editing wedding videos. I'm just
same here. I got you.
doing the thing, and then 5 o'clock rolls around or somewhere around there, sometimes maybe earlier, but that time till about 3 or 4 a.m. I was at it. I didn't go to bed until I was confident that when I woke up, there was going to be a good looking video on the computer, even if it meant I sat up in my chair staring at the frames as they were being created till it was about 80% complete.